So far, we have taken great stock in figuring out what we don't like about ourselves or where we're troubled in terms of how we feel about our body and our image of our bodies. We haven't yet started the work, which I am really impassioned about, and that's getting to a point where we are acceptant and appreciative and respectful of who we are internally and externally in whatever shape or form that may take. So I just finished a very productive week in Oshawa, Canada with my Step with Style family. And we had some very interesting discussions there. One of the things that came up about the way that we feel about ourselves is the way that we are described by others, the adjectives that are associated with us, and also the adjectives that we use to describe ourselves. We always hear that words are powerful, words can hurt, and we know that it's true. And that's easy to see when you say something that is blatantly hurtful to someone. Oh, you're an idiot, you're stupid, you'll never amount to anything. Mean words. But sometimes we're not aware that the most simple things that we say, and we say repetitively, or we hear repetitively, can have a really great effect on who we are and how we feel about ourselves. For instance, if someone is constantly referring to you as, oh, you know, Sarah, the short, chunky one, bad teeth, you're the girl with the bad teeth all the time. Or you're, you know, the guy with the crooked nose. Those things we hear and they attach to us, and then we think we are totally that. Yes, sure, you may have bad teeth, but you're not your bad teeth. You may have a crooked nose, but you're not your crooked nose. But somehow it becomes us, and we affect that in the world. Either we're ashamed of it, or sometimes we promote it. If someone is beautiful or sexy, well, good on them, right? They move through the world with a certain amount of confidence and assuredness, and that works for them. And that's how words are powerful, because all of a sudden, whether they feel that they're beautiful or sexy or not, they've heard it enough that it becomes how they present themselves and how they feel. Likewise, if someone is constantly calling you stupid or ugly or fat or skinny, you become that, and it can either build you up as a person, or it can tear you down, or just create insecurities that make you not feel good about yourself. So we're going to work to redirect those adjectives, both the ones we use to describe ourselves and the ones that we hear. Okay, so once again, it's story time. When I was young, I was very much just the way that I am now. My mother always says I've been this way since I was 3, and I think she might be right. But one of the things I observed when I was young was the way that people describe people. I was always aware of what people thought, like the words they used to describe people. For instance, I was aware when people felt that other people were beautiful or cute or sweet, and those adjectives had power. They felt a certain way about those people because they felt that they were those adjectives. And then I would listen to the adjectives that were described to use me most of the time, and they were not cute, not, oh, she's so sweet, Teresa, she's sweet. No, I was talented, I was funny, I was crazy, but I was never cute. And that was true because, I was at 12, I was 5'6", and I was gangly and awkward, but aesthetically, I wasn't that girl, and I always wanted to be that girl, and I was always aware of people who owned those adjectives. So what happened was is I ended up being more talented and more funny and, crazier, because I felt that those were the things that people were expecting of me. That's what I had to offer. I didn't have beauty to offer or cuteness to offer, but I could offer a joke. I could be entertaining. And that's one example of how adjectives can come to affect a person without you even knowing it. You become your adjective. So, how do we begin to police our language about ourselves? Um, I'm a queen of personal experiments. Like the world to me is just like, oh, what would happen if? So that's how I approach things. So that's what I'll present to you. How I started to get a handle on myself and my personal issues were start to really, really kind of take stock of what I was feeling, why I was feeling it, and when I was feeling it. And then I chose to make a choice about what to do about it. So the first step to kind of getting a handle on your adjectives are just to ask yourself, like, if what are 5 adjectives that I would use to describe myself? I would use something like, I think that I'm smart. I think that I'm intellectual. I think that I am witty, observant, and I think that I am joyful. Joyful in the fact that like I can bring joy to others. I don't necessarily feel joyful inside all the time, but I can give joy. I'm a joy giver. So those are 5 of my adjectives. But the 5 adjectives most likely used to describe me are probably like big black, that's true. Funny, crazy. I think people would think that I was smart. But, joyful, maybe not. Definitely not beautiful or cute, my same adjectives that I've been fighting for all my life. So what I want you to do is to do that exercise. It doesn't have to be 5, it can be 7. The more you get, the merrier. So you get your adjectives that you describe yourself with, and then you start to listen. Ask some close friends, ask your family. Start listening to hear how you are described by other people, and start to put those together. Now, do they match up? Sometimes they match up, sometimes they don't. Sometimes adjectives that would be important to you won't be present in the way that people are seeing you, and that's okay. But what you're going to use it as is a guide to see maybe where you got some of the feelings about yourself that you own, whether you like them or not. So you have your exercise. You're going to go out into the world and gather this information, and I would love to hear what you come back with. And I would love to hear some of your adjectives and some of the way that you experience being more aware of what you feel about yourself and the way that the world sees you. And also, on a final note, I'd ask that we all be responsible, or start to be responsible with our words and the way that we describe people. Not just, but importantly, parents and teachers and adults in authority over little ones. Start to really take note of the adjectives you're using to describe them, because it does affect them. And if someone is beautiful, then it won't hurt to hear that they're smart. And if someone is smart, it won't hurt to hear that they're lovely. And if someone is physically strong, it won't hurt to hear that they are a kind and gentle person. And I charge all of us with that. We should all watch our words and try to build instead of potentially, digging at someone's soul that way. All right, let me know how you do.